I pray to see it finds you well, Green, or at least better than it finds me. It seems I have no choice but to seek out that inspector and convince him to surrender up his mammet to me. 'Twas unearthed under most suspicious circumstances, Tuck, and who can say what secrets or heresy it might hold? Therefore, the Inquisition would conduct a thorough inspection, and if needs must, destroy it. Given his affinity for the contraption, I fear the inspector may not be amenable to my request. Nevertheless, he must be made to see that it is in the interest of public safety. Would you be willing to help me persuade him? Good luck, buddy. Fury be praised, at least you have seen reason. Let us pray he will as well. I am given to understand that while the inspector and his assistant have been wandering all over the city with the mammet in tow, they often frequent the gazebo near the Fortomp Manor. With any luck, they will be there now. Ah yes, the dreaded gazebo. That's this guy again. A lot of that keeps following. That just keeps showing up whenever Hildibrand is here. Maybe he's following Hildibrand. Verily shall we scour all creation, from the deepest pit of the seven hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens, for the answers we seek. Every day shall be filled with grand adventures, with a stuff of fairy tales and legends. Huzzah! A grand adventure in the deepest pits of the seven hells. Just so! Such is the creed of Hildibrand, agent of enquiry, inspector extraordinaire. Well posed, Gigi, well posed. I dare say you have the potential to be an exemplary inspector someday. Right, that's enough of that. By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Hellenic Inquisitory Doctrine, I hereby command you to surrender that mammet of suspected heretical origin into my custody. Hello there, Green, and Inquisitus here, ever the jester, accusing poor Gigi of being a clockwork heretic when 'tis plain to see that he's merely a precocious young lad. Oh, there you go again, confusing the poor girl. As if those big, beautiful, boxy eyes aren't the soul of femininity. Nashu, please, were you not witness to the magnificent display of Mandervillian masculinity mere moments ago? That's because you haven't taught her any better. She needs a proper role model to show her what's what. Master Slime, Inspector Seer, what is all this commotion? We can hear you from the courtyard. Oh, it's Edmund. Ah, Lord Edmund. My sincerest apologies for the disturbance. I am come to seize this mammoth on behalf of the Inquisition, a fact which I clearly expected before you arrived. At which point they set to bickering about the contraption's gender. What do you say, my lord? Do you think Gigi a boy or a girl? Tis clearly a strapping young lad, no? Fury take me, not you too. Has the whole world gone mad? Fine, fine, but even supposing that this Gigi is a real boy, you cannot deny that the circumstances of his discovery and miraculous resuscitation were most unusual. He cannot be suffered to roam the city with impunity until the Inquisition has determined that he is not a real threat. I beg your pardon. Miraculous resuscitation? I see. Then until such time as Gigi recovers his memory, mayhap it would be best if you adopted him as a ward of House Manderville. I would even stand as witness here and now, if you wish. Adopt? Then that would make me Gigi's father? Congratulations. Doubtless the Inquisition would think better of taking any action which might threaten the cordial relationship between our two houses. Yes! Yes, of course! I'll do it! Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, do hereby grant this child the patronage of House Manderville! Papa Hildy, Papa Hildy.
Inspector's finally become a father! It's so beautiful!
Quite. Now that you need no longer fear the Inquisition, you are free to show Gigi more of our fair city. Indeed, I strongly encourage you to do so. Mayhap by the grace of the Fury, something will jog his memory. Thank you, Lord Edmund. I shall not forget this kindness. Come, my faithful assistant, my beloved son, we must away! Oh, Hallowed, I would not presume to question your grand design, but... Gah! Confound it all! Well, mayhap I cannot detain the mammet, but I am still within my rights to observe the blasted thing. Lord Godbert will be pleased to hear that his son is hale and healthy as ever. Not that I would ever presume to meddle on another father's behalf, and certainly not without consent. Come now, Gigi. Surely gazing upon this wondrous work of Ishgardian architecture stirs something within your soul. This grand manner of House Mailtimsart. Durandare. Pray do not fill the mammet's head with such nonsense. That is the supreme sacred tribunal of Hellenic Inquisitory doctrine. I should know, I work there. Furthermore, I am quite certain that there is no House Mailtimsart, and that is a rather ludicrous portmanteau of the four high houses, including that esteemed house which but recently stood as witness to your adoption.
Well, Gigi, do you remember anything?
No, nothing. I say, rather than parading him before the grandiose, why not give him a taste of something more prosaic? Let us make our way to the holy stables that he might bask in the singular sights, sounds, and smells of Ishgard's famous chocobos. Why bother? It's no use. Now, Gigi, you must not give in to despair so easily. Did I not promise you days filled with grand adventures and the eventual discovery of your mislaid memories? Spirits, Gigi! Spirits! Oh no. My word! A vase flung to the ground with reckless abandon! Could this be the opening salvo of an indiscriminate campaign of vandalism? One waged by your wild gesticulations, perhaps. At least look before you strike a pose. The gods only know how much that vase cost. 123,514,000 gil at last assessment. It was over 700 years old and graced the homes of at least a dozen archbishops, 8 counts and 2 lord commanders, and 1 duke. Jesus, that old vase is worth 100 million gil. 100 million gil! Oh, Hallowed, why have you forsaken me?
Oh, would you look at that?
Well, now to teach him how to be a goldsmith. It's a miracle! Nay, the divine intervention of Fury herself! Did I do that? Gigi, my boy, that was marvelous! You're a born artisan, just like father! Papa Hildy's papa.
Your grandpapa, Godbird, the man who woke you with a few gentle taps to the noggin. You wouldn't believe what else he can do with that hammer of his. Why, some folks say he wields the very powers of life and death. Once he and the missus come back from the tour of the Western Highlands, I'm sure they'd love to see that trick of yours.
Do not demean these mammoths' power as a mere parlor trick. We just witnessed a miracle, and I demand that you all acknowledge it. This mammoth. Sir, I say, sir, 100 million gil for the mammoth. Nay, 100 million gil and the Duke's priceless vase. My word, this is what passes for trade in Ishgard. Gigi is my flesh and blood. I will not sell him at any price. Please, Papa Hildy, no more. I know you mean well, but we can deny the truth no longer. I am a mammoth. Gigi, whatever has gotten into you? You are my son! You are a Manderville man!
Listen to your papa, Gigi. You're a Manderville girl through and through.
Stop it, both of you. You're not my papa or my mama. Well, it is only to be expected. Gigi is at a rebellious age. Strange as it may sound, I too tested my parents' patience, and that on more than one occasion. But if they could weather the storm, then so can I.
I say we find out what's got him thinking he's a mammoth.
But he is a mammoth. How can you not? Oh, never mind. The course of fatherhood never did run smooth, but I, Hildibrand, guardian of Gigi, doting parent extraordinaire, shall find a way to overcome this trial and be reconciled with my beloved son.
That's the spirit. Solving a simple case of childhood rebellion should be easy for a man who's unmasked thieves, defeated duelists, and led armies of the undead.
Yes, that's all very— wait, what was that about the undead? Actually, don't tell me. For now, all that matters is finding that mammet. We should begin by speaking with the sentry stationed at the city gates and the airship landing. If, Fury help us, he has left Ishgard, we need to know about it sooner rather than later. I will visit the Ark of the Worthy while the inspector and his assistant head to the airship landing. You can question the guard at the gate near the manufactory, after which we will regroup there and share our findings. Dismissed. Little fellow with a wide-brimmed hat. Aye, he came through here. Bought passage on a supply ship bound for Falcon's Nest. He hath money? One of them was his name. Lullafels, right? Funny little buggers. Seemed keen to be anywhere but here. Well, if Gigi left the city, it was not by the main gates. And the sentries at the airship landing has seen no one matching his description. Went through this way. Falcon's Nest! Fury take me, must be returned to that freezing pit of despair. Wheresoever Gigi goes, I shall follow him and find him and embrace him as my son once more. However, I surmise our final destination lies far beyond the walls of said outpost. Indeed, there is but one reason he would return to those frozen wastes. To frolic in the snow and cast his worries to the winds. Really? He seemed in no mood to frolic when I saw him. As I recall, he used his arcane powers to mend a vase, only to become morose and belligerent when it became clear to him that he was in fact a mammet. One might even say he remembered what he was, remembered his purpose, so he returned to Western Coerthas, that famous breeding ground for heresy where first we found him. Home to his heretic masters, to share with them the intelligence he had gathered on the city. At long last, the undeniable, the unquestionable, the unmistakable scent of heresy. What are we standing around for? We have a heretic to catch!
Inspector, I'm starting to think that Inquisitor Sia might not think very highly of our little girl.
It is possible, but I would not presume to know his feeling ere he voiced them explicitly. Until such time as he does, we should endeavor to surreptitiously bring him round to the opinion that Gigi is a boy of pure heart and good intent. Subtlety in all things Nashu. That is the Manderville way. Lollifells will stab you in the calf for a handful of gil. Aha! I knew it! The mammoth immediately left the outpost and looks headed north along the river. By the Fury, I cannot wait to finally catch him in the company of heretics!
I don't much like your tone, Inquisitor. If our baby girl ran afoul of any heretic, she'd look him square in the eye and tell them she doesn't want any. Inspector, I think I had just one of those moments, of insight. Maybe Gigi came out here to find Lord Godbert. I did tell her grandpapa might like to see that trick of hers.
Brilliant deduction, Nashu. He must be eager to meet his grandparents. The self-same ones he renounced when he declared you were not his father. Ha ha! What a fine young gentleman eager to explore his heritage. Let us make haste, my friends. Her reunion of 3 generations of Mandervilles beckons. I really can't be bothered. Huh. How do they knock out antelope with snowball? Ugh. The mammoth lies motionless in the snow, fragments of ice stuck to its cap, suggesting that the impact is something small and round traveling at high speed. Ah, my head. Who? Oh, it's you. You followed me. Oh, Gigi, if you want to have a snowball fight with your grandparents, you should have said so earlier. Papa Hildy was very worried, though he is glad to see you are unharmed. It would seem he was struck by a snowball, much like these Steinbocks. These dead Steinbock. Are you sure he isn't damaged? As if a mere blow to the head could fell our Gigi. We Mandervilles are made of sterner stuff. I myself have been driven headfirst into the earth on no fewer than 24 occasions, several times from moms above, and my mind is no less brilliant for the experience. I expect the earth was no less brilliant for the experience. Why are you nodding? Oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? What good fortune to cross paths with you lot so far from civilization. Forgive me for not taking notice earlier. I was engrossed in my duel with Julian. But how rude of me. Would you care to join us? Grandpapa Godbird. Grandpapa Godbird. Mama Nashu says you wield the powers of life and death. I beg of you, Grandpapa Godbird, grant me life. Make me a real boy. Are you sure about this, son? It may sting a little. You can actually do it. I will endure whatever I must to become a real boy. Oh, he's learned. Then let us begin! Huh. This body, it's everything I ever wanted. It's perfect. Thank you, Grandpapa Godbert. Thank you. Wait for it. Oh, but I'm not even begun to begin. Piragot, guide my hammer! This is the antique vase all over again. Oh no. Oh my god. Papa Hildy, I'm a Manderville man. Gigi, my son, come to your father. Let me have a look at you. Papa Hildy. Gigi. Gigi, what are you doing? Oh no. A clothesline! Or is it a lariat? Now that brings back some memories.
Papa Hildy, oh dear, who could have done such a thing?
By the fury, it's just like the vase all over again, miraculously restored to its original form. Gigi, my boy, upon further consideration, I believe that this body may suit you best. How shall I put this? It is, how shall I put this? More manageable.
And much more adorable. But how can I ever be accepted as your son if I remain a mammet?
Is that what's been troubling you all this time? But why didn't you say so? A Manderville's more than mere flesh and bone. He is vigor, compassion, honor, a gentleman for all seasons. Be you man or machine, it makes no difference. If they call you a mammet, you look them in the eye and say, "Nay, I am a Manderville mammet." Mother, father, forgive me for not consulting with you earlier, but circumstances forced my hand. I have formally adopted Gigi as my son and ward of House Manderville. Ye gods, I knew he was fond of the mammet, but did you hear that woman? Our son's gone and got herself a son!
Grandpapa Godbird, Grandpapa Godbird.
Ha! It all makes sense now. Grandpapa Godbert and Grandmama Julian. I've been waiting years to hear those words. Grandpapa Godbert, Grandmama Julian. Few things in life are grander than becoming a grandparent, as they say. Ha ha ha! Oh no!
And what's so bloody grand about it? I'll not be made grandmother to a bloody buggering mammet. It's past time I beat some sense into my beloved boy.
Ma'am, you're scaring me.
Fury, take me. I've heard the tales of the dark nuts before, but no, it couldn't be. No, I think it was something far worse. Heretical like is not, but rules be damned, I'm not risking my life to find out.
The darkest culinarian.
They're mad. Utterly mad, the whole lot of them. How their house could rise to such prominence, I will never understand.
Well, you take the greatest goldsmith and the greatest culinarian together.
Well, at least the mammoth seems to have overcome its existential crisis. Well, today I didn't even know a mammoth could even have an existential crisis. Wait, what am I saying? It's a mammoth! Why should I care what it claims to think or feel? Fury, take me. The idiocy's infectious. I mustn't allow myself to fall prey to it. Follow procedure. Report to your superior. One step at a time. One step at a time. Oh no. Hooded figures. Right then, my superiors. Having been informed of the mammoth's adoption by House Manderville, as witnessed by House Tom, proceeded to take to task for my gross mishandling of the situation. They remain convinced that the mammoth is a product of heretical machination and command me to redouble my efforts to prove this incontrovertible fact. That may prove problematic, however, as Gigi seems to have forsaken his quest to recover his memories, and to throw himself wholly into his new life as a Manderville mammoth, casting about for any hint of a case alongside his doting father. In any event, though I do not share my superior's conviction, I think it's safe to say there is something exceedingly unusual about that mammoth. You saw with your own eyes about how effortlessly he restored that vase, and itself, to its original form. Reconstructed magics are not particularly rare, but his are unlike any I have ever seen before.